1-year anniversary follow. What's up, Curtis? He says, Washington is a very dangerous team in the NFC East. Giants will be improved, but that's the division is a beast. And you know what? That's a perfect transition, Curtis, into the New York Football Giants. Guys, the New York Giants may have pulled off one of the boldest, most calculated drafts in 2025. And if it all hits, this could look like genius from years from now. What's up, Laura? I see you, big girl. And said, but guys, let's start off with the first overall pick. Not their first overall pick, but the Giants' first pick. And the edge rusher, Abdul Carter, at number 3 overall. Now, on paper, this might seem redundant, right? They already got Brian Burns. They already got Thibodeau screaming off the edge, but the Giants weren't drafting for need. They were drafting for impact. Carter brings elite burst, freakish athleticism, and polished versatility. Wink Mark Martindale or whoever's calling that defense can have some real fun with this with this trio, right? But then came the big move later in round 1 when they traded back up to get quarterback Jackson Dart at number 25. They gave up 2 third-round picks this year and the next year to do it. And I'll say this, it's gutsy. Dart is not a slam dunk prospect, but he's got a live arm, good mobility, and competitive edge that you can build around. And more importantly, the Giants sent a message to say that, hey, we are building for the future. So I don't care who our quarterback is, Jackson Dart is our guy moving forward after this season. Then goes on to day 2. They did go defense yet again, snagging defensive tackle Darius Alexander out of Toledo, right? He is a raw but explosive lineman who can thrive next to Dexter Lawrence, and that duo could wreck the interior of offensive lines if Alexander develops right. Then moving into day 3, the Giants kept adding value, drafting Cam Skidabo from, I believe it was Arizona State, in round number 4. This guy runs angry. We talk about angry runs. This guy is it. He's not a home run hitter, but he will finish every run like it's a statement. Reminds me of Isaiah Pacheco a lot. If he improves his conditioning, he's a real rotational threat. Then there's Marcus Meblo, a do-it-all lineman out of Purdue who drafted 2 rounds later than expected. He's a swift army knife, right? He could play guard, center, or even tackle if asked to. That type of flexibility keeps you on the roster, especially in New York when their linemen, let's just be honest, suck. But hey, do not sleep on the 7th round swings either. Tight end Thomas Thibodeau II is a nice development pass-catching option, and quarterback Corey Black gives you them long-term experienced cornerback to develop into the back end. But here are my grades. Day 1, they get an A. They went aggressive and landed 2 franchise cornerstones. Guys, this can make or break the New York Giants for the next 5, 10, 15 years in this day 1 grade. And then day 2, they get an A-. They had upside, and the upside and need collided with the Alexander pick. And then day 3, they get yet another A. It's smart, versatile selection across the board. So what is their final verdict? Guys, the New York Giants earned a final overall A for me in the 2025 NFL draft. It was bold, it was aggressive, and they loaded up with upside. If Jackson Dart pans out, this class could define the next decade for the New York Football Giants. But guys, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and remember, we are live every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com and, of course, facebook.com/manhour. But this, guys, is a live interactive show, so let's get into the comments down below and discuss your thoughts. Old Man River says, I agree, but they get a B+. Curtis Hughes also agrees. He says Carter and Dart are franchise pieces for the New York Giants to move very, very forward. And listen, you are not wrong, Curtis. You are not wrong. And Mellow Mike says, where is Dart on the depth chart as of right now? Behind Wilson, competing with the Sade famous Jameis. Quarterback is the most important position. Hot seat coaching and GM pick the first round quarterback is a bad decision. Mellow Mike, you are right on both accounts there, right? Obviously, Brian Daboll should have been fired a couple years ago. along with Joe Schoen. Is that say his name? Joe Schoen? Shane Schoen? Well, whatever. Both those guys should have been out this offseason, if not the year before that. But they are 100% on the hot seat. However, I do like the pick of Jackson Dart, because Jackson Dart, even if Brian Daboll is gone next season, he will have the learning abilities behind Jameis and Russ if both of those guys stay on the roster at the end of the day. Because rumors are floating around that the Saints are interested in trading for Jameis to bring him back to New Orleans to be that mentor, franchise veteran leadership down there in the Big Easy. But either way, he's got two quarterbacks to learn how to prepare, learn how to be a pro, and learn how to take care of his body. Because let's just be honest, Russ is on his last leg, couple years left. Winston is on borrowed time. Let's just be honest, it is what it is. So yes, both of those guys I feel want to pass knowledge on to Jackson Dart and definitely give him the best ability, best chance that they can to succeed. But we will see. We'll see at the end of the day what that all pans out. But Forrest Hill says Giants killed the draft. Their defensive line rotation is insane right now. And Forrest, obviously, at the number 3 overall pick, if Abdul Carter was still there, you had to select Abdul Carter. But then, while watching the draft and listening to Mel Kiper cry for the next 3 hours about Shorter Sanders, right? I was like, man, did they just really draft a number 3 guy to be a backup? But then I read the article that Kayvon Thibodeau talked about, and it's like, look, I will move to the inside. Brian Burns will do whatever it takes. And yes, those 3 pass rushing guys on third down, if you do not have those guys in there, oh my God, what are the Giants doing? But yes, I love it. I love it. It's going to definitely be OSA. Mellow Mike said the Giants got to fix that offensive line. Thomas is the only valuable starter. Got to support the quarterback. You are correct. Offensive line is very, very key. Hopefully they did enough to replenish that offensive line, but we will see. Forrest says Dark actually has tools to arm. Supposedly smarter than you think, despite easier offense system. Tough NFC East is back. The NFC East might quietly be the most competitive division in football. I know we're talking about the AFC West and the AFC North and the NFC North, but it would not shock me one bit, Forrest, if every team from the NFC East makes the playoffs. I'm just saying. Mellow Mike says good quarterback landing spot in sports usually a bust. Seen it too many times. Franchise ruined talented quarterbacks way too many times. And you are correct. However, Brian Daboll did have the luxuries of preparing Josh Allen to become the Josh Allen that we know today, right? So maybe I'm not comparing Jackson Dart to Josh Allen. Let's just put that off the table right there. We went off on that last week. It was stupid. It was asinine that Brian Daboll even said that. But Brian Daboll does have a history of bringing up quarterbacks. Now, obviously, he did not do it with Daniel Jones and whoever else the 15 other quarterbacks were the last 5 years in New York. But maybe, since he has time to maybe potentially develop Jackson Dart, that Jackson Dart will do a good thing there. Forrest says